Hey everybody, this is Felicia with The Book is Done, and this is my last review for today. Today is March 15th, 16th, 15th. One of these days, y'all, I'm sick. I can't. I think today is the 15th. Um, but yeah, today is the 15th because 17th is St. Patrick's Day. This book right here, when I tell you it threw out the biggest twist, it started off with the biggest twist. Like, what in the what? Another K Mod book. Kiersten Modglin, My Husband's Secret. I feel like I'm playing catch up, or not catch up, but I'm reading all of her books. And it's because like her books they're not super long. They're not like 400, 500, 600 pages. They are legit 150, 175, all the way up to like maybe 302, if that. And that's pushing it. Normally her books are between like 200 and 250 pages. So this book right here starts out, y'all, with this woman. It's this woman, Naomi, and her daughter, Becca. They are in the cemetery and they are at the grave site of, they're going to start the service for her husband who had just passed. And so she comes off to say that they weren't really all that religious. And so the father is waiting for people to come. Excuse me. And it's like no more than 10 people who are at this graveside service. And so while he's speaking, she notices one woman come up, kind of slender. She's gorgeous. Her eyes look as red as hers. And she's like, who is this woman? Because her husband Lucas was a doctor. And so she was like, why does she look so distraught? Like, okay, he could be somebody he worked with. So father keeps talking. It's the second woman that comes up. She's a little older, but she looks equally as distraught. And she's like, okay, I have an uneasy feeling about this, but we're just going to go ahead. So, mind you, y'all, this is like in the first 5-10 pages of the book. Like, I lie to you not. And so, once the service is over, they're starting to lower the casket into the ground. Um, and Naomi notices that the two women are still there. And so she's like, I'm sorry, how did you know Lucas? How did you know my husband? And the first woman said, husband? He wasn't married. I'm his fiance. I've been his fiance for the last 2 years. Time out. Time out. You just told this woman, who is the wife of the man that's being buried, that you are the girlfriend or you are the fiance for the last 2 years? What? The second woman comes out and says, no, 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 that's not possible. I'm his girlfriend. I've been his girlfriend for the last 12 years. Time out. Time out. Throw the whole game away. Throw the whole game. Throw everything out. I'm sorry. And so the wife is like, both of y'all stop. I'm his wife. This is his daughter. What are you talking about, fiance and girlfriend? I'm his wife. Like, what? Kiersten came out with this book swinging, y'all. Do you hear me? She came out swinging. When this book came out in 2020, 4 years ago, baby, the fact that it started out with the wife meeting the girlfriend and the fiance. Fiance been in the picture for 2 years. Girlfriend been in the picture for 12 years. And then it's the wife. I don't know. From my understanding, it's probably a point of view that I read, but I think it was a babysitter. How she was saying well, maybe because of their daughter who was like 4. And so she was like, they've been married, woo, woo, woo. And so the book, pretty much, the second and third chapter was basically saying how the wife invited both of the mistresses over to the house. And throughout the book, it just goes back and forth between the 3 point of views. It goes back and forth between Naomi, Adelina, I think Elena, I believe. Elenia is the one who was engaged. At one point in time, she was pregnant. But she was with him for 2 years. And then Clara was the one who had been with him for 12 years. She was a doctor like him as well. She started her program a few years after he did, but she is older than him in age. And Naomi is the wife. And so it just gives a different accounts as to what all was going on. So Elena was an artist. She did like different canvases and things of that nature. And so she's trying to get her career up off the ground. And so I forgot where he met her at. It explains, came out explains like where he met all of them at. So Clara, naturally they met in med school. I don't believe that he was her attending. I think it was a surgery that they worked on or something like that, and it just kind of went on from there. And so Naomi, not to say that she was contemplating suicide, but she was just at a really low point in her life where she welcomed death. She was just like, I guess you could say, like manically depressed. And she was in a park and he just came and sat beside her, just random, sat beside her on a bench, and they just started talking from there. And so I want to say that Lucas and Naomi were like in their 30s. Clara must have been like in her upper 30s, maybe early 40s, I believe. She made it seem like she was super old. And not to say that that's old, but like in the book, she made it seem like she was in her 50s type thing. And that's not old either, but don't take my words out of context, y'all. She was older than Lucas. And so Clara was the youngest. I think she was like 22, 26 or something. Feel like he was rocking a cradle, if you will. So it just goes to show like how he was going from house to house, and every time he was using like an excuse. Hey, or with him being on, I was on call. I got called into a surgery. I did this, I did that. And so it's like once you get through everything, not to say that I'm still trying to because I just finished this book a few hours ago. And so it's not to say that they were sitting there giving an account of everything, because this is still like in chapter 2, the wife was like, there's an investigation. We just want to close the investigation because they were saying it was an accident. We just wanted to be open and closed. The police don't know about either one of you two. I need to know if you know any information about what happened, how he died, where he died, who was he with, whatever. I just want it done. And so I feel like the ladies were giving an account to everything. Like he told Clara, yeah, he told Clara that that Naomi was his sister and Becca was his niece, and that they were living with him, and he was taking care of her because she was like depressed and she had all these mental health issues. And so Clara is thinking that all this time they can't be together because he is taking care of Naomi and Becca as his sister and his niece, not knowing that that's his wife. And so to Alania, she I don't think he told her that he was in another relationship. He was just like, I only want to be with you. He told all three of them. So it was like really like a love, not even a love triangle. It was like a love square. You know what I mean? Or maybe it was a triangle. I don't know. But I mean, it was three women involved and he played all of them. And so when you get to the end of everything, you sit back and look and see like, okay, who did what? Because little spoiler here, he cuts it off with all of them, and then like he's trying to skip town, and he does seemingly choose one of the three and who to be with, but not to say it backfired, but at the same point in time, it not to say he got what he deserved, but in the end, it's like you really don't feel so bad for him. I mean, just the fact that he was sleeping with three women and led three different lives, and they all met for the first time at the gravesite. Like Clara was like, "Oh, I was under the impression that you knew about me." This the girlfriend, 12 years. I was under the impression that you knew about me because I know all about you. I know all about Becca. And Naomi is like, "Girl, if you come close to me, I'm gonna cut you," type thing. Like I'm gonna put my hands on you. And Elenia was like, I'm sorry, I don't see how he is of any and how he you could be of any interest to him. Not to say I'm arrogant or that I'm the most beautiful, but I mean, come on, I'm the youngest. Like, And Naomi is like, girl, if you don't go sit down, I'm his wife. Go have a bench. Okay. You are a fiance and you are a girlfriend. Go sit down. I am his wife with his child. Like, be out. And so, in all things, this book was definitely good scandal wise. And so, Lord have mercy. I feel like that's the third, yeah, that's the third Kiersten Modglin book, because I went from a Freedom McFadden book to a Kiersten Modglin book, and it's just going back and forth, going back and forth. Like, I went to a book sale last Friday as a birthday treat to myself. My birthday was on the 6th of March, and one of the books that I found was by Kiersten Modglin, and it's called You Can Trust Me. And I mean, just anything with Kiersten Mod, her and Freedom McFadden are like auto reads. Same thing with Riley Sager, Spencer Guerrero, and Spencer Guerrero. I'm reading his book right now, his third book, called excuse me, My Wife's Stalker. And so I'm reading that, and I'm debating on getting started on The Stranger in Her House by John Mars. And so it's like mentally I have to prepare myself for these books. I have so many books that I was blessed with for my birthday, y'all. It's unreal and I love it. Um Especially in me being sick, and just I need to, it gives me a chance to catch up on reading. So in all things, if you have not read this book by Kiersten Modglin, go check it out, because he indeed had a secret. I believe that everything came out to light, and it was just too much for him. So go check it out if you haven't already. This is Felicia with The Book Is Done, and I'm out.